Madden NFL 24, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans and the New York Jets, and it comes your way next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, a lot of buzz here in the tri-state area about these Jets in 2023. Do you think that they are ready to challenge the Bills and the Dolphins for supremacy in the AFC East?
I certainly do, and for two big reasons. Number one, Aaron Rodgers is in town at quarterback, but number two, their defense, which kept them in every game last year and only got better through the draft this year. If they can pair those together, they can compete with anyone in the AFC East and the AFC in total.
Meanwhile, for the Texans, things are changing rapidly in the Space City. They've got the new coach in DeMeco Ryans coming over from the Niners. They made two big splashes on draft night, but fixing the defense seems a priority.
And remember the 2022 draft? They took a lot of guys on that side of the ball, so maybe we just need a little bit more seasoning with some of the talent that they've accumulated.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former UConn and Eastern Kentucky quarterback. It's Tim Boyle.
Brandon, I know he isn't at the status of some of the elite names in this league, but I do know he's an absolute fighter because he's heard all the criticisms. He's read the articles that say he isn't good enough to be the starter, and he absolutely does not care. All he wants to do is prove every doubter wrong and show that he belongs in this spot.
That's complete right side to Lazard. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 4. Now the second-year man back from injury. It's Breece Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Back to throw is Boyle. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Stroud. And this will be caught by Brown. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 37-yard line.
Stroud out of the gun here. This will be caught once again by Brown. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
A man coming off a great rookie year. It's Dameon Pierce. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker, calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be fourth and short.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Oh, nice. Oh, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 34 yards the gain that time, another first down. We're scoreless after one.
The end of the first quarter with no score.
Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Boyle. Caught. It's Wilson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 20-yard line.
Boyle. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw is Boyle. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
For the field goal, a 43-yard attempt.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And Stroud now to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. That is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's 3rd and 7. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
The throwing again is Stroud. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. downs. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he'll be taken down with a first down as they get about 14 out of that one, and we go to the 2-minute warning. On first down, Boyle.
He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The end result, 21 yards.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now, Boyle. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now 2nd and 3. Throwing here, Boyle.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now Boyle to throw.
This will be caught inside the 10.
And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. Boyle. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again. And it's caught. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
It's 4th down and goal.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Zerline's kick is up and through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
Well, that return had all the trappings of really good scouting. You could tell that they thought they saw something on tape that they could take advantage of, and they dialed it up at just the right time to give them a great return.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the 1st half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. Oh, it's a wobbler here. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Hall to start the drive. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. The Sheldon Rankins, former Saint and Jet, there on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Hall again on 2nd down. Gets past one man, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 83 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 44-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Caught that one from me there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Boyle. And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, you
pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On second down, it's Stroud. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Pierce. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Boyle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Houston set to take over. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Play action. Stroud now.
Throw left side complete. That's Pierce. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Damian Pierce.
A 23-yard run.
And the Texans are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out now come the Jets. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Back to throw is Boyle. He'll get this to Lazard. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll run with Hall. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 99 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. They'll look to throw. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans take over an excellent field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go again with Pierce. And a short gain here down to the 22. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Pierce on the counter. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
3rd and 3. Pierce will try to pick it up. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down, and that is the big one, as they should be able to run it out from here. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for, because they'll need to continue to rely on them to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.